Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Leader McConnell, Leader Schumer, former Speaker Pelosi, Senator Dole, the Senator's Dole. In his timeless study of political courage, John F. Kennedy wrote, and I quote, "The true democracy, living and growing and inspiring, puts its faith in the people. Faith that the people will not simply elect men who will represent their views ably and faithfully, but also elect men who will exercise their conscientious judgment. Faith that the people will not condemn those whose devotion to principle leads them to unpopular courses, but will reward courage." There are many speakers after me, and I imagine the word courage will be intoned frequently. Respect, honor, and ultimately recognize right. John Kennedy spoke of Senator Bob Dole and other Americans who have risen above the average and been extraordinary in their service to the American people. Few Americans living today have demonstrated the kind of courage that Bob Dole has. The medal he is receiving today represents his possession of two kinds of courage. The first is valor, the kind of bravery he displayed on the battlefields of the Second World War, whose wounds he has carried ever since. The second is conviction, a steady determination over the course of one's public life to stand up for what one believes to be right and to be just. That is our Bob Dole. That's what Bob Dole did in Congress when he worked across the aisle with me and others to enact the Americans with Disabilities Act. And it's what he did when he came to the Senate floor in 2012 in his wheelchair to advocate again for those with disabilities around the world, frankly, against some in his party's opposition. It's the same courage he displayed again and again and again as a senator, as majority leader, as a presidential candidate, and as a private citizen. His devotion and Liddy's devotion continue to this very minute. How blessed America is by their service. As we celebrate that courage today, we pay tribute to Bob Dole, not only as a great legislator, but as a good and great and decent American and human being. And he has been advantaged, of course, by the partnership of an extraordinary woman, a woman of compassion and commitment, and like her husband, of great patriotism, loyal to our country and its people, his wife, Liddy Dole. Senator, I'm proud of the work that we've done together. I am honored by your friendship and so taken with your devotion to country. If I were going to invent a United States Senator who would reach out across the aisle, reach out across the country to serve this nation well, I would invent Bob Dole. I'm proud to be on hand today to recognize all you've achieved, Senator, to enhance the work of the Congress and to make our country stronger and safer. How appropriate it is to give a gold medal to someone who is the gold standard.